My name is Stephen Lyford, and you've tuned into a new episode of Migraine International Patient's Perspective. Today, our topic is exercise and migraines. The discussion lately has been about how to exercise when you're a migraine sufferer. A lot of my group members on my support page have been talking about this topic, and I thought I would address it in this week's video. Apparently, a lot of migraine sufferers have the same issue where doctors tell them to get some exercise so they can lose weight. And, weight loss can help with reducing the frequency of migraines. And it's very difficult when you're a migraine sufferer to do things like aerobic exercise because it raises your heart rate. When your heart rate is raised, it can increase the intensity of migraines or actually trigger them. So, for myself, for example, if I have, unaware to myself at the time, if I have an underlying low-grade migraine just kind of creeping under the surface, and I go out and I do something strenuous, like climbing stairs or anything that's aerobic, my head can blow up and I end up with fairly severe migraine. So what are we supposed to do? So there are quite a few alternatives. I've been to different types of physical therapy where you can do the first suggestion is go for walks. Now, some people can do this and others can't, but you don't have to go for a brisk walk. You can go for leisurely walks, and you can gradually increase the time period. Now, for example, I live in a double cul-de-sac. So if my wife and I go for a walk, we can just walk in our cul-de-sac. It's like a double circle, and so we can go to the other end of the cul-de-sac, circle around, come to our end of the cul-de-sac, circle around, and we can keep doing that because we're not far from home if we get hot, tired, or for some reason I get a migraine. So we accomplish our goal without being too far from the house and having a incident with my migraines happening. Or we get overtired and we're too far from home. So that accomplishes that goal for us. Now, if you have reasons why you can't walk, I also have a treadmill at home. But given that, there are things that we discussed. You can, if you have cable TV, you can get Tai Chi on YouTube. I think most of the time you can get it for free. And Tai Chi is an oriental exercise that just it just gives you body position and stretching, and it's just basically different body motions. It's a type of a martial art, but it mainly what it does is it gives you muscle tone and stretching. So it's not going to give you aerobic exercise, but it is going to give your body, through tension and stretching, it's going to give it some exercise and some tone. So that in itself, as the muscles get stronger and more dense, that will burn more calories and it will help with your overall condition. It's not going to be as fast as some people might like it, but it will help with the overall tone of the body. Now, one suggestion I saw, which actually is not a bad suggestion, is you've seen the commercials for Chuck Norris and the Total Gym. Now, the Total Gym is uh, for lack of a better term, a machine, or it's a weightlifting type machine that uses cables to use your own body weight um, to do different types of exercises. And depending on the angle at which you set the machine, it makes it easier or harder. And you do different types of cable pulls with your arms or with your legs, and it can work on your arms, your legs, your abdomen, um, and they're, again, through strengthening the muscles in your body, the more dense your muscles get, the more calories you're going to burn, um, and the more your body at rest will burn calories and lose weight. So the more tone your body gets, the more your body burns calories at rest. So these are just a couple of things you can do. Now, of course, having a better diet plan. Now, what you have to realize is when somebody says diet, everybody freaks out and you think that you're going to starve yourself. Um, Starving yourself of food is not a proper diet plan. Um, it's more about eating the right foods, getting rid of, toxic sugars, just massive amounts of sugars. And the general rule is no boxes, no cans, um, because they all have added sugars and added salts. I'm a heart patient, so I have to get away from the salty foods, especially. Um, and those have nitrates in them, and nitrates are not good for people with migraines. Um, Nitrates include things like, beets and certain other beets and kale, and there was a list. I don't have the list available right now, but um, if you Google it, you'll find out those foods. There are some foods that have low amounts of nitrates. Bananas have some nitrates, but not enough to really make a difference unless you are highly intolerant of nitrates. But salt has a lot of nitrate in it, so you have to avoid salt if you are a migraine sufferer, because it can be a trigger. If you're eating heavily salted foods like potato chips and things like deli meats and pepperoni and salami and stuff like that, those are going to be migraine triggers because they have a lot of embedded salt in them. So those are things that can help us to avoid those kinds of triggers. Um, but any exercise that is low, gives you a low cardiac reaction, that sit-ups, push-ups, any kind of calisthenic where you're using your body rather than aerobic. Um, and there's all kinds of, even just stretching is something that is good to keep your body limber and keep you flexible, and it will help with other exercises. So even just sitting down on the carpet at home and stretching your legs, stretching your back, stretching your arms, especially as we get older, stretching can bring back some flexibility. So I've had shoulder issues lately, and I've had to do some more flexibility exercises to bring back some flexibility in this shoulder, and I'm still having some mobility issues with it. but it has gotten better because I am doing exercises and stretching with it. Um, but um, I'm also going to cardiac therapy, and that therapy has actually helped my shoulder as well. Um, so, um, just wanted to give you a few tips, and hopefully, this will help some of you get an idea of just a few things you can try as far as exercises to help you with your migraines. It's not always easy, I know that, but let's try some low cardio exercises. You know, not necessarily running or treadmills or whatever, but try some things that are similar to Tai Chi, stretching, and things like that that will help you exercise your body without raising your heart rate. You know, watch the salt, watch the sugar, try to lose a little weight, do some walking if you can, and hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. My name's Stephen Lyford. This has been Migraine International Patients Perspective, and don't forget to hit the subscribe and share buttons. Okay, have a great day.